I'm also happy. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. And how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me today on the conversation. This is a show that I call Candid Conversations, and I usually invite people who, are entrepreneurs and thought leaders and difference makers in our community and in society
Wow.
at large. And when your profile was sent to me, I knew that I had to have you on the show to talk about, your entrepreneurial journey, which is very, very
Wow.
fascinating to me. So thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the show, Nozibele.
No, thank you so much, Candid Conversations, for having me as well. I'm honored because I live my life day to day, normal person, but I'm glad that I'm making a bit of an impact wherever I'm going, which most people should actually want to have as well. You must be
Yes,
able to make an impact around you. And a lot of the time, people want to make impact internationally, globally, without being known back at home. So
that's
for
so
me,
true.
I stay within the community of Itequini, and I'm doing my part to play that and make that mark as little as possible as I can.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm going to kick off our interview today with something that you had said in your bio, and I'm going to read it out to you. You said
Mm,
in your bio that you need to start and do it quickly. Don't hesitate and take the risk and just start. Entrepreneurship is the
mm,
answer for today's economy, and the quicker you start, the quicker you learn the ropes and get the hang of it. What does this mean for
yeah.
you, and how do you think entrepreneurship could be used as a vessel to really move South Africa into the state that it needs to be in terms of our economy?
I think already when the masses in South Africa, the majority in South Africa, don't come from, very few come from a privileged background where their parents were entrepreneurs. So we haven't seen people before us being entrepreneurs. So a lot of us, the majority of us, are start-up entrepreneurs who have this great idea, but we've never seen how businesses are being run. So for me, the quicker you start, the quicker you learn those ropes of how businesses are run. I'm not perfect as well in my business. There's a lot of marketing and research that needs to be done by entrepreneurs. But the moment, sorry about that, there's two dogs fighting here. The moment as an entrepreneur, you see that I start, it's not going correctly, this opportunity. Let me start another one. The quicker you learn the ropes, because there is a strategy behind entrepreneurship. There is the business aspect behind it. And the quicker you become business minded within your entrepreneurship idea that you have, then you can start commercializing it and getting the profits out of it. It's taken some time for me as well, because it's a journey that I'm doing full time as something that I'm not an entrepreneur on and off. I'm an entrepreneur 24.
Nozi, are you still with us? Nozibele?
And
Nozibele, are you
seven
still with
times.
us?
Do that with entrepreneurship at time, you would have gotten that muscle of what entrepreneurship is all about. Yeah.
That's incredible. And I want to know, just from your background, what inspired you to become an entrepreneur while you were growing up? Was it something that, your family did, or was it something that really ignited the fire in you to grow up and become a businesswoman?
Okay, the first thing, both my parents were teachers. My dad went on to be a principal of a school because he was very much of a good mentor. The mentoring part came natural to him. Hence, I'm a good mentor as well. I think that's one generational thing that I've taken from my parents. But I think when it came to business, I was employed like everyone else. I started off at the bottom rungs of, I was working at a place called Woolworths in the pavilion, and I was just at the replenisher there, getting the boxes in, scanning the clothes from the trucks, and then putting them in the rail. So I was just like layman, like right there at the bottom of the hierarchy when it comes to organizational structures. And then I moved from there to being a receptionist. And I was a receptionist in a company, and the past receptionist there was there for 10 years, 9 years as a receptionist. So it was going to be possible for me to be a receptionist for the next 10 years while I was
Yeah.
in that company. But something in me said I must excel and find out what more is happening with this company. Even so that by the time I left on the 10th year, I was in charge of business and customer relations for that company for the whole of South Africa. So those business acumen started growing inside of me, but I knew that if I could do this business for someone else, I could definitely do it for myself. Yes, it's not in the
For your own
same
business.
power right now, but I know my journey, I know my strategy will lead me to being a large corporation one day. Yes, I'm an SMME today, but I know for a fact that my business will grow to be medium sized and will be large due to the long and short term goals that I've placed within my business as well. So in somewhat or other, only now that I'm an entrepreneur, I keep thinking back that actually in December time, me and my sisters, we used to sell chickens and milk with my parents. We used to go around our local
Yeah.
community just selling chickens. We'd be like, chickens, amasi,
Yeah.
So we'd buy the fresh milk that would like, in a couple of days, it will turn to amasi. So already that entrepreneurial muscle was starting to build. I also made a few
Yeah.
necklaces in high school, which I resold with the beads as well. But somewhere, somehow, without me realizing that I had this entrepreneurial muscle, it was already being built and being honed. We already see in our platform, in our economy around us, that a lot of the people who do business now, their mother, their uncle, had done business vigorously. And
Yeah.
hence it's easier when it comes to the next generation to do business. And I think for us, the majority of South Africans, especially our indigenous people, we need to learn that the businesses that we start, we must hand them over to the next generation. And it has to be a business that has a long-term effect or long-term strategy that you can go about as well. So definitely start your entrepreneurial journey. For me, it definitely is the answer. We have so many people who go to school, they graduate, there's no jobs. There's people who don't have any opportunities at the moment. What skill have you got? For
Yeah.
me, it's asking what skill, what can you do with your hands? Can you take a camera and start photographing, for someone? There's so many events, there's so many weddings, there's always something right in your community that you can bring about as a solution for entrepreneurship. You will see within no time, you'll be hiring someone to come help you in your photography job that you have. You would need someone to carry your iPod. You need, all of a sudden, you've got so many clients.
Yeah.
You've got 4 or 5 clients in a week. You can't reach all of them. Now you need someone else to assist you as well. So it's easy to grow your entrepreneurial business once you start the hang of it. Start as one and try
Yeah.
as much as possible to limit the cost of or the overheads in terms of how many people you have. But the more you get the hang of it, the more you put quality behind it, the more you put value in the work that you do, and you put in that excellence, I'm telling you, you will surely grow. And that growth must not be limited to, oh, I'm doing something in Joburg, in Cape Town. Why not do business in Cameroon? Why don't do business in India? And the
All over
reason why, all
Africa.
over
Yeah.
Africa, and the reason why I'm saying those 2 countries in particular, I've just started mentoring a group of boys in Cameroon, and I've just got some as well in India that I'm mentoring. Just group of friends, and all I do is Zoom. And I've used the digitization as a means to say, let me get across to people who are interested in the work that I do here locally, who want to hear what is
Yeah.
it that I can do, Noz, to motivate myself and be the best themselves that they can be. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you said about how it's important for you to find a skill that you can capitalize on. And it
Yes.
reminded me of something I heard someone say. I can't remember the name specifically, but someone said you need to find something special about yourself, put it in a bottle, and sell it to someone, and that's how you start your
Yes.
entrepreneurial journey. And so I'm curious to know, what is it that you took about Nozibele and put into Nozibele Solutions? And what is it that you do with your business on a day-to-day basis?
For me, I think I've just gotten the niche of who Nozibele is all about recently, because what
Yeah.
happens the moment you go to corporate puts your mind in the way of corporate. You must be very strict, do things in this way, and my mindset was like that. But Nozibele had to bring Nozi's passion and who I'm all about as Nozi. And who is Nozi? I'm a very passionate person. Everything I do it with excellence. Everything I do will always come out with with quality work behind it, because I always put the best of who I am behind it. But when I had to drill down to find who Nozi is very much a person who follows her name, who's kind. And I want people around me to feel that kindness. I want people around me to be happy. I want people around me to be the best version of who they are all the time. You know, for the first 2 years, I launched my business in August 2018. In 2018. And the first thing that I had done from January to that August was just talk at a lot of events. I started mentoring people around me, like, because we have to put in the action in terms of saying what services that I'm doing, as Nozi. I did a lot of talking. I did a lot of mentoring. Didn't know exactly how to hone it, but now I know for a fact that I'm Nozi who does self-mastering. And in that self-mastering that I'm doing with all my mentees, I just deal with how you think. A lot of people, no one has told them how to be a director of a company. But the moment you're an entrepreneur, as a sole one person or one individual, you are the CEO of that company. How do you carry yourself? How do you carry your decision? How do you handle your time? And just by me working with how you view yourself, there's a lot of I've mentored a lot of artists around eThekwini municipality, and I've helped those artists see themselves as a product and how to take themselves to the next level. But before even taking them to be a product, how do they value or see themselves? Do they see themselves as a global brand? Because if you're coming from Kwamashu and no one around you is a global brand, do you think you are going to become a global brand? You've never seen it, physically
true.
touched it, So for me, I work with your mind to say, what is it that you see about yourself? What is it that you see? How do you view yourself as a person? And for me, that is the first step in self-mastery. How do you then take yourself seriously? How do you become authentic in the decisions that you make and become relevant in the decisions that you make day to day? Do your decisions that you make today say global brand?
Oh, that's so
Or
powerful.
are you already doing something and you're tarnishing that image that you want to make out there? So for me, really, really to work with mind, I don't want to say it mindfulness or just spirituality, but I really just want to work with you the way that God has designed you to be so that you can become the best you can be. And that's all I do. And I think before even being a speaker, before being a trainer, I'm a mentor. And for me, that is the one thing that I want people around me to find significance in who they are. I battled with significance because I came from a corporate that had everything running. Now I came and then I started my own business. I have to find my own funding. I have to find my own operational cost. I have to make sure I get from point one to point two, all of those things. And I was battling to say, who is Nozi? Hence, I did not get that significant part. It only came this year to say, Noz, no matter what, you are significant. You don't have to have a corporate covering for you to be significant. You don't have to have millions in the bank to be significant. You are significant because God created you. He placed something inside of you. And because of that purpose that you have, you are significant. And the moment you find that place or that muscle of significance, it's easier to self-love. It's easier to be yourself. It's easier to produce this fruit of kindness that people can enjoy that are around you. And I really think my business is growing this year. And because of that. So I mentor, and I mentored a lot of people for free at no charge, at no cost. But what I'm finding is those people that I've mentored are recommending me to someone else. And that person that they're recommending me to, immediately they won't have any problems with paying for my services. So sometimes as an entrepreneur, we feel that we shouldn't do things for free. We feel that we shouldn't be trading with some of the entrepreneurs around us. But for me, I always say, what can you trade with the other entrepreneur? You don't have to have physical money. If I'm giving you 2 hours of my graphic design, can you give me 2 hours of something else? So always find that find that liquidity or that flow for your business to work. Work with the municipality that is around you, work with the forums that are around you. There's a lot of people that want you to grow as a person, but sometimes if you're a bush, or you're hiding yourself, or you're hiding your light, you're hiding under a bushel, what your purpose is all about, then people won't be there to say, hey, there is that Nozi, what is it that you can do in your business? I've just recently launched my website of Nozibele Solutions, which is
Congratulations.
www.nozibele-solutions. Thank you. And it's been a long time that I did not have a website, but the more now I'm getting these clients, I'm putting back every profit that I have back to the business. That money is not Nozi's. It belongs to the company for the company to grow. So a lot of the time as entrepreneurs, we believe that we've got, I've got an extra profit. What can I get for myself? No, save your money as much as possible. Grow your business. Corporate is looking for world class, and a lot of people believe that I need to be world class 5 years from now. Be world class today.
No.
Carry yourself in that way within your business. And I'm really passionate about this topic, and for you to put your purpose and your passion as your value proposition within your business is the best thing that one can ever do. And sometimes it doesn't get revealed immediately. So that's why I'm saying, don't give yourself that, okay, it's 6 months, it didn't work in 6 months, I'm not getting the right turnover, I'm leaving it. Maybe the timing was not right, but continue pressing on. And I know that as the South African economy and what's happening now, really entrepreneurship and being an SMME is the best thing that one can ever be currently.
Yeah. I mean, your journey is incredible, and not only am I inspired, but it leads me to a question that I really am curious to know, the answer to, of how you seem like someone who is so focused and who knows themselves inside and out. And it seems like before you started your business, you yourself needed to form an identity of who Nozibele is and develop yourself, after, 10 years of being in corporate. So how important is it for, young entrepreneurs to first work on themselves and their mindsets before they actually, start that business, or while they're in that business, to ensure that, it runs smoothly and that they themselves, are a sufficient enough source to keep that machine going?
For me, it's the basis, it's the foundation of knowing who you are. You can't talk to kings, you can't talk to presidents, you can't talk to anyone, even the councillor in your municipality, if you don't know who you are. If you're coming and presenting a proposal to an exco or management, and you haven't dealt with who are you as a person, what are your muscles that make you, you won't be confident. You won't be able to share your story of what is it that you're offering or what solution that you're bringing about if you don't know who you are. So for me, it took hardship, because I really believe when I was growing up, I had a notion that I'm not pretty, a lot of the people around me kept on saying that you look like someone from Ghana or someone from Cameroon, somewhere in Africa. At that time, the pictures we had of those areas were areas with flies, or, we didn't see good photos. Now, if someone said you look like someone from Ghana, I'm proud of that, I don't mind. But it gave me a weakness in me to say that, okay, I don't look good. What else can I work with? And I worked a lot with my internal self as Nozi. So what I did, I exercised my internal muscles, and that's what I really talk about, even when I'm doing key motivational talking, to say, what muscles have you got? For me, I knew that whatever I do it with excellence. And for me, that excellence produced quality work. I knew that I was able to ascertain authenticity. I was authentic in the things and the decisions that I made. If red was red, I wasn't going to say red is green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that people will put in the gray area about their own lives. Whether it's about people that are your peers or the circle of influence around you, you're trying to fit in. It's important in those situations as well. I realized that there's a muscle of being relevant. If you're a receptionist, be the best receptionist. If you're in marketing, be the best marketer. Be relevant in that job that you're doing. Be relevant in that work that you're doing. And a lot of the time, for me, that muscle of relevance has kept me going, has kept me afloat of even opportunities that are happening around me. And another muscle that I had grew within me was, you know what? I can dream and be the best Nozi within my dreams, and nobody's going to steal my dreams. So there's this muscle called be limitless. Be limitless in the outlook of life. If you want to own a boat, draw the what kind of boat you want to own. Have that picture to the best ability in your mind. Don't limit your mind. No one can come into your mind and steal your dreams.
Yeah.
They are your dreams at the end of the day. So I developed this quality within me of picturing. And an example of that, there's so many things I pictured. And I would get those things to that T of how I looked at it. So having vision as an entrepreneur, to know exactly where is your business going? Where do you want to see yourself? And I've realized that whatever I prophesy or I speak out from my dream place, from that limitless muscle inside of me, it surely will come to pass. God has put it in my path for me, it will definitely come to the fore. So another muscle that I added though, after having my business, was my habits. 4 hours in a week. Do you think you'll get the results of 4 hours? So my habits had to go with what is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I want out of it? How many hours must I put in more to be able to get out the right output in the business? What opportunity am I looking out for? How long must I carry out for as well? So it's important that you have a muscle within you that says my habits must go according to the business that as an entrepreneur as well. So from a place of hardship, me, I always ask MMEs to say, please find muscles that you have. The muscles that I have as Nozi might not be the same as your muscles, but I really believe that just the same way that we go to the gym to exercise our external muscles, you have to exercise your internal muscles, and it will set you apart within your business in the things that you do.
That's incredible.
Time with me doing this, and in me doing this work, in me working with people's minds, you don't see the success overnight. So it's been very hard the past 2 years to actually measure the
quantify
success of my business and talk about it, because it's up to the person. You can't quantify it. It's up to the person who I've dealt with to talk about, oh my gosh, I talked to this girl, she's got so much wisdom. She gave me so much advice, but I can't go and talk about your problems that you've talked to me about,
Yeah. Nozi, I seem to be losing you.
Whole 2 years, my company was like a call center. Away people, the stage that I'm at I'm streamlining businesses, but I'm so for the results of all the work that I've done. And I really believe those are the things that have even put me here in this candid conversations today, because there are results, and it's good results, at the end of the day.
Yeah. What challenges have you faced in your business and in your entrepreneurial journey, and how were you able to overcome those challenges?
One of the biggest challenges in life, really, the moment you start saying, I'm doing this, I'm really putting my business out there, there's so much opposition. Everything will tell you stop. Everything will say don't continue. Things will, it's like the moment you start putting this light in your life, everything around you wants to dim that light. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first challenge. Number one, don't give up. Continue, pursue anyway. You might be depressed maybe that morning or whatever, but get out of that depression, get yourself out of that state and move on to say, hey, Nozibele Solution is a business. I'm going to continue. I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to be the best me that I can be within this business to be my best. So that challenge number one already is, and sometimes that challenge does not come from people from afar. It comes even from the people around you who don't properly my that I have. Important to learn that when you pitch, people want you to be the best. And I think for me, hence I said I had to learn this muscle of its significance. Having this muscle of significance has helped me do my pitches better, see my value of who I am as Nozi. And I think when something is your own, you feel that, okay, it's my own business, but it's not BP, it's not Coke, for example. Don't sell yourself short. And I think
Yeah.
that's another challenge that I had as Nozi, that I was underselling myself. I was not seeing myself in the way that God had purposed me to be, So the moment I started, and I think feedback helps a lot from my clients to say, Noz, you're good, you're awesome, you're great, you're doing a good job, maybe fix this one here or do this thing in this way. So allow feedback within your business. And if you don't have a mentor, no one is going to be able to say, don't do this in this way, try this way, So it's important to have people that speak into your life, that know your structure, your strategy, or where you are going. So it's vital to have another ear in your business as well. Even when it comes to finances, if you're not good with finances, make sure that you're speaking to the relevant people to assist you so that you can grow in the finance aspect of your business as well. So the challenges, despite the challenges that I've had, I really think I've beaten the odds. From having cars or driving for and in the recession and the COVID area that you have, I haven't had a vehicle as well, but I'm beating all of those odds. But in me beating those odds, digitization is the best that could ever happen, because now I don't have to come to a person's office. The person's not even there. I'm more discouraged. It's We're live, we're talking right now over the air. You can talk to anyone, and really those walls and those divides, even internationally, have really gone down, and it's up to us to use what we have in this era of 4IR digital platforms to our favor. Hence, I started off with small business expos, which were happening every beginning of the month, once a month, last year and the beginning of this year. Because of COVID, to stop decided, let me start shooting my own show called E-Conversations with Nozi. We have done some of the videos already, but I think we will start airing them from next year in January as well. Yeah.
No,
And all we're doing there, we're just speaking about empowerment, we're speaking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about e-commerce, because I really believe people must start taking their businesses on e-commerce platforms, so that people can start engaging on a digital platform. And a lot of the SMMEs need to get themselves on those platforms. And luckily within Nozibele Solutions, we are providing those solutions for some of the SMMEs around us. And anyone or any business that wants to get into a digital platform, we are here. We've got solutions for you. So companies to move in the right direction.
Yeah. Now, you also are very involved in the space of women empowerment, and you founded your own network called Circle of Influence, and you work comprehensively with young women and ensure that they get the platform to realize their dreams. Why is that something that's important to you? And often people say, why do we need all these organizations and extra measures to ensure that women are empowered? But what responses would you give to people who undermine the importance and how imperative it is to have platforms that specifically empower women?
I really believe that women already come into this world with the platform that's missing,
Yes.
we need to boost that platform to not be missing. When you look even with boards, with gender equality, it's like 2% of women are in the right boards or within the top 500 companies, or within in our stock exchange in Johannesburg. It's important that we have platform for women. But one of the things that I've realized the importance for me is sometimes we wait for years to do something that you love. for me, doing circle of influence, yes, it's not a registered NPO currently, but it's something that I do with my friends on a day-to-day. We have a group called Circle of Influence, and I always want people within my circle of influence to start thinking, what can I do to promote a woman? What can I do to buy from women? What can I do? Are you buying from a woman? Or if someone is saying, I have a party or I've got an event that's coming up, are you promoting a woman to make sure that they're doing that event for you? They're bringing the food for you. So my thinking is, I want all my suppliers to be women, if it's possible. Sometimes you don't have women for everything that is out there, but why not? We are women, we can do it. So what I'm all about in terms of circle of influence is I want to take the capacity that women have to bring out their purpose. A lot of the time, women will say, let me have kids, then let me do me. Still, I know it's difficult. And it's sometimes even, it gives people I want you here to be a wife of this home. It's a whole new ball game. But I would say we can't invest you. You can. For men, it's easier to start a business. It's easier to provoke people to get. It's easier to put funding into the business. It's hard about what we're doing because we feel that either someone is going to say you're doing something wrong, they're going to say don't do it. There's a lot of
Nozi, the network is a bit slow. I'm struggling to hear you.
Down syndrome. There's a lot of things of that nature. Can you hear me?
I can hear continue? You now. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, you can hear me well.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So it's very, very important as to build that capacity that is within you. Because number one, yes, you already are good as nurturers of the home. You're already good at multiplying things, but multiply you and your desires as well. Build that capacity. It's very important to speak with your community and work with your community. Some people don't know the capabilities that you have. And I think by having this kind of conversations, people will say, I heard about Nozi in Candid Conversations. We found with one school that I was working with in the Eastern Cape that the kids from working at school, working from home, it was quite a depressing shift.
Yeah.
You see home as the disciplinary, I have to work. It's not something that you put your mind to doing schoolwork. You see it as an entertainment area. There's food available in the fridge. It's a huge being in class and being at home. So just for me, talking to students within my community to say, continue having time management at home. Make sure that there's nothing that's distracting you around you. So make sure you eat at your full. You go study. You don't have to go back and forth to the fridge and open it. You're a student. So those are the kind of things that is good in this topic. Noz is good. Let me use her skills.
Yeah.
Let's be open to say and sharing what is it that we have as people, especially within our community. The other thing that is very, very important, vital, is nobody will teach you what can teach itself. For example, you can go and do a good proposal for funding of 50 million rand. If you don't have the confidence to speak about what to do with this 50 million, shoot yourself in the foot in that proposal or in that presentation because you don't have the right confidence, you don't have the right mindset in terms of where you're doing, or you don't see this quite well. So it's important to have the right foundation. Be authentic. Know that I've got a muscle that will excel and produce the best road if I'm doing a road, the best construction site if you're doing a construction site. And I think for us as South Africans, especially the majority of South Africans, we don't come from a right place of the mindset. We don't come from a right place in terms of our backgrounds, we don't have the same opportunities that we do other people. So now if you start working with your mind, if you start working with the foundation of your internal muscles, being the best you that you can be, trust you me, if you are coming in as a CEO, as the MD of your own company, as an SMME, and you're going to be presenting for a huge corporate, trust you me, you're going to be the, and you're going to get that funding, you're going to get that opportunity because your confidence and where it's coming from. So for me, it's vital that the community knows it, who can talk to people, start assessing and tapping into the skills that I have, because trust you me, I don't want to die or leave earth full of my purpose. I must be empty. Everything that God has given me, I must share with other people. The riches that He has placed in me, I must complete the mission. I've had other people being their best selves because they are around me, because they were in my influence. And a lot of the time people will have the wrong influence. People won't give them the right advice. As Nozi, I'm a positive person, and I want you to rub off in this positivity that I have around me so that you can excel and be the best you that you can be.
How can people
Do you have another one? Sorry, I'm saying I finished that question. What would be the next one?
The next one was, what impact or legacy do you want to leave? But I feel like you did, answer it a lot in a nutshell. But if you do want to expand on, the legacy and the impact that you want to leave through your work, what would it be?
You lay in terms of your mindset, how you think, in terms of exercising your muscles. But the legacy I really want to leave behind me is to have people who have huge corporates, who have huge conglomerates, people who've said, I've started small, but look at me now. It's possible. It's possible to have a global brand coming from Kwamashu, from Tuzuma. It's possible to be the best you on a global, impactful way, and not just from my province only. It can be South Africa, Africa. The world really is our oyster. And the moment we can have that type of legacy behind me in years to come, that's what I really, really want to see. Grow those and to be a double story, to be something that the world can out of you the best of what you have to offer as well. This can be in any sector. It have to be in one area of it can be in science, it can be you being the best artist, it can be you being the best manufacturer. All I want, and the majority of disadvantaged people in South Africa can't do that. For me, the sky is the limit. And I always say that in every horizon that you see, the moment you get to that horizon, there's another horizon. You'll never get there, Continue working to build who you are. Do it being happy, do it being stress-free. I know you cannot be stress-free all the time, but there's a certain elements of fruits that you can, that people can eat out of you, as a person or as a business.
Yes. I wish you nothing but the best in making that impact, and you certainly are. Just from this interview alone, I'm inspired as well to continue doing what I'm doing. So I'm so thankful to have had you on my show today. How can people get a hold of you and your company and your services for collaborations, or if they, want you as a mentor?
Okay, definitely. I'm available on my email, which is nozibele@nozibelesolutions.co.za. We've just recently finished our website as well, which is www.nozibele- solutions.co.za. I'm available on WhatsApp as well on 082-752-5821. But I am available only on Tuesdays of every single week for SMMEs, entrepreneurs, just to give that advice. But people have to book their time in as well, because it does get a bit crazy as well. So yeah, and I mean, I'm available to come speak at people's events. As I said, but my speaking comes from me being a good mentor. I mentor some with Enactus DUT, with the entrepreneurs, the Department of Entrepreneurship, and I've been the just see how people have ideas, and there's so much out there that people are having, and it's exciting. It's exciting to have and to see as well. So definitely connect within those different platforms. I've got a YouTube channel under my e-conversations with Nozi today.
All right. Now, all those details will be in the description box underneath this video. So anyone who wants to get in touch with you definitely will have access to do that. From my side, thank you so much once again, Nozibele. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I can't wait to engage with you in 5 years' time when you've mentored entrepreneurs who have JSE listed companies. Who knows?